I think that about does it. Yep, that's right. We're back on track. It has been so long since I've done one of these N64 Complete In-Box Quest videos. I have a whole stack of games over here, and it took me forever to sort through them, go through eBay, figure out what I paid for them, what I got in a lot, what I bought singly. It was just a mess. But after a few hours of research, I was finally able to figure out where we're at. So today we have 6 games that we'll be adding to the collection, and most of them I already had the boxes for, so I was just adding games and manuals to these to get them on the shelf. So let's check them out. And the first game we have up is Cruisin USA. Cruisin USA was developed by Williams and published by Nintendo. It released for the N64 in 1996. For an early release, the graphics aren't bad for a racing game. They aren't good either. You can definitely see a huge improvement from this game to Cruisin' World. The music in the game is okay, but the cars lack proper sounds. You'll be driving and only hear motor sounds as the car changes gears. The controls are odd for a racing game. Rather than the gas being the A button, you use the Z button, like an Extreme G. The brake is the R button rather than the B button. The B button changes the music. Other than that, the steering of the vehicle is okay. Compared to Cruisin' World, the gameplay is rather boring. It's not the worst racing game on the N64, but if you want a fun cruising game, get a copy of Cruisin' World. They're about equal in price. Cruisin' USA is game number 164 for the library, and the cart and manual cost me $8 shipped. I already had the box. And at $8 shipped, that brings our total up to $8,718. Next up is another game I had the box for, but not the cart and manual. Now I have the cart and manual, and that game is The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask was developed and published by Nintendo, releasing for the N64 in 2000. Majora's Mask is a dark-feeling Zelda game. The entire game you will be traveling back in time to prevent the moon from running into the earth. Although I played and loved Ocarina of Time, I never played Majora's Mask growing up because I didn't have an expansion pack. I first played through the entire game on the 3DS. Being a Zelda game, you know the graphics, gameplay, and controls are spot on. However, I'm not a huge fan of the time traveling aspect of the game. If you never played the game before, every 3 days you have to go back and solve new puzzles before the moon runs into the earth. If you don't complete the task in time, you have to restart from day one. I prefer Ocarina of Time over this game. That's not to say this game isn't great, because it is. The story is great, and I like the dark feeling the game has. Majora's Mask is game number 165 for the collection, and the cart and manual cost me $35 shipped, bringing our total up to $8,753 for the N64 Complete In-Box Quest. Next up is another game I had the box for, but no cart and manual, and that game was Blast Corps. Blast Corps was developed by Rare and published by Nintendo. It released for the N64 in 1997. In this game, your mission is destroy buildings to clear the path for a missile carrier. The gameplay is fun. Who doesn't like rolling around destroying buildings? The graphics aren't great, but they aren't the worst looking graphics on the N64. The controls are good as well. They can be a little strange when reversing the vehicle, but that's only a minor complaint. There are 57 levels in the game. Each one is fun and unique. You'll do anything from pushing buildings over with the truck, to cartwheeling into buildings, to attacking structures from the air. This game is a blast, pun intended. If you're having a bad day, this is the game to play. Overall, Blast Corps is fun and inexpensive. It's a game worth adding to your collection. Blast Corps is game number 166 for the collection, and the cart and manual cost me $18 shipped, bringing our total up to $8,771. The next game up on the list is Rat Attack. And you really gotta excuse my voice today. I've been waiting so long to do YouTube, and finally when I get a break to do it, I get this weird throat congestion. Rat Attack was developed by Pure Entertainment and published by Mindscape. It released for the N64 in 2000. In Rat Attack, your job is to stop mice from eating everything. Imagine Plants vs. Zombies, but instead, cats versus mice. When a level starts, your job is to collect a certain amount of mice using the Eradicator. Basically, you hit the A button to form a box and capture the mice. After you capture them, you hit the destructor in each level to get rid of them for good. After you've caught all the required mice, it's on to the next level to do the same exact thing. The graphics are good and the controls are fair. However, the gameplay is monotonous and gets boring rather quickly. Just like the music. A loose cart will cost you $20 to $30 in today's market. Complete in box copies are in the hundreds. There are many better games you can play for the cost. Rat Attack is game number 167 for the collection, and it cost me $138 shipped, bringing our total up to $8,909 for the collection. Next up is another game I had the box for, and I found the cartridge when I was game hunting in the States, and that game is Lego Racers. Lego Racers was developed by High Voltage Software and published by Lego Media, releasing for the N64 in 1999. Lego Racers is a kart-style racing game that allows you to build your character and car. In the character build, you can change your face, headpiece, torso, and legs. In the vehicle build, you can build any kind of kart you can think of. Enjoy the building part of the game because that's where the most fun is had. When you get to the racing, the graphics take a nosedive. Controls in the gameplay feel sudden. The kart jerks all around the track. While racing, you can pick up Lego pieces that'll give you weapons. The best weapon is the red brick, which allows you to shoot an accurate projectile and stop your opponent's car in their tracks. The track designs are plain and boring. They don't give you a lot to look at. The music in the game isn't memorable, but at least it's not repetitive. Lego Racers is a game that started off great, but ultimately failed in the end. Stick to Diddy Kong Racing or Mario Kart if you want a fun kart racing game. Lego Racers is game number 168 for the collection, and the cart cost me $15 shipped, which is probably a little bit on the higher side, but I was just happy to find it out in the wild. And that brings our total up to $8,924. The next game up I had the box for, and I also found the cart in the States, and that game is Micro Machines. Micro Machines was developed by Codemasters and published by Midway. It was on store shelves in 1999. When I first turned on the game, I immediately was reminded of the unlicensed NES version of the game. The characters and names were the same. Spider, Dwayne, Bonnie, they're all present. When you get to the racing, it's shockingly the same as well. The controls are the same, it has the same top-down view, and the tracks are set up very similar. Micro Machines is a fun game. I played many versions of the game over many consoles and enjoyed most of them. The N64 is no different. The graphics are good, the environments are full of details, and the gameplay is fun. This is a game that takes practice, however. With the top-down view, you can't tell when corners are coming up. You have to play the tracks and memorize them so you know where to turn. You also just can't smash the gas and go. Regulating speed is important because the cars are way too fast for the tracks in many races. If you enjoyed the Micro Machine games, the N64 version is fun. Just be ready to practice a lot. Micro Machines is game number 169 for the collection, and the cart cost me $7. And at $7, that brings our total up to $8,931. For the N64 complete in box library. When I got back from vacation, I sold all my duplicates, well, most of them, and I sold them for $296, and that brings our total down to $8,635. But I do got a couple bonus games. They were already on the shelf, but I got one of them sealed, and that's In the Zone 2000. I found a really good deal on it. It was ending. And I know this game is pretty rare, we've already covered it, but I thought it was pretty cool to have this one sealed. So I won't be adding it to the counter because I already have the game, but it's just a cool piece to add to the collection. And the other one is a Rayman 2 variant, which I already have this one on the shelf as well, so I won't be adding this one to the counter. But this one came with a temporary tattoo set, and you can see them right there. And that was in excellent condition too, so I really wanted to pick that up. Now I think there's also a sticker version too for Rayman 2. I don't know. I saw that pop up. I've never seen it before, so I just went ahead and bought it. But anyways, that's it for this episode. Let's get these games on the shelf. If you enjoyed the the video, please make sure to subscribe. I'll be collecting the entire N64 library, complete in box, right here on this show. Also make sure to leave a thumbs up for Majora's Mask. Until next time, I'm Wayne, and thanks for watching.